the relationships with every single lender is important, because everyone will have those little nuances that until you get into the detail, you don't know if there's a little golden nugget under there you can release. I've done deals with some lenders because I found out something by having informal chats with the lender. Oh no, we'd look at it. Oh, would you? Oh, so those relationships are very important as well.
Hello, I'm Michael Allison. I'm the Commercial Director at Roma Finance, and welcome to another episode of RomaTalks, where I meet people from across the property ecosystem. And today I'm delighted to be joined by Dave Symondson from Rise Up Development. Hi, Dave.
Yeah, hi, Michael. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. I'm very good.
Good.
So before we start, obviously we've been talking previously, and we've met before as well. Why don't you tell everyone a little bit about yourself?
Okay, yeah, fine. Well, if I tell you a bit about Rise Up Development,
Yeah.
Obviously Rise Up Development is relatively new, 12 months in. It was basically set up to help tradespeople and building contractors take that step into property development. So we sort of fill the gap from what they understand on site to educate them on how to find sites, how to do feasibility studies, look for the right location in terms of the exit is robust, etc. And we've done a number of 1-day and 2-day workshops over the last 12 months, and it's gone very well. Been very well received.
Brilliant. I mean, for us at Roma, we love working with tradespeople who want to essentially do it for themselves.
Yeah.
They've done it for everybody else,
Yeah.
because we always feel that they're a good custodian of our
Yeah.
cash, and we've seen some of our borrowers grow in that time. So hearing somebody spend the time and develop those people is great.
Yeah.
Obviously why we work together.
Absolutely. And obviously it's been set up by me and Robin. So
Yeah.
my background is I had 40 years of property funding and development. When I worked about 70% lender side, overseen about 50 JVs ranging from 5 to 50 units. And when you're on the SPV and you're seeing really what's going on in terms of bank account movements, etc., what goes right on site, what goes wrong on site, obviously that they are incredibly good learning experiences. And Robin, who's my co-founder, Robin's basically background is 40 years in property development.
Wow.
He'd worked with his father. They had a family development business, delivered about 1,000 properties. And then about 15 years ago, Robin's father sadly passed away, and he decided to go into construction coaching. So he does a lot of work with tradespeople and building contractors as well. So we've come together with good combined skills, which we think is going to have a significant impact when assisting tradespeople and building contractors to take the step into development.
So really what you've got is 80 years worth of experience across that broad spectrum of doing it.
Yeah.
Financing it,
Yeah.
knowing what lenders look for,
Yeah.
know how the market, and pardon me for saying, over 40 years as well, there's a lot of ups and downs, isn't there? So you've navigated some real tough
absolutely.
times.
And I mean, what you and I know now is the market has become a lot tighter in the last 15 years since GFC.
Yeah.
It's become even tighter in the last 5 years. So perfect execution is more important than ever before.
Yeah.
So obviously there's a lot more bureaucracy as well, and hoops we've all got to jump through. But getting the delivery bang on is really important. So again, that education piece is very important.
Yeah. And do you feel that the education, do you lean in more to, because obviously you mentioned all the different pieces, which bit do you feel that the tradespeople or the contractors are looking for? What scares them the most? Is it finance, feasibility? Is it,
I think. I mean, you don't know what you don't know, do you?
Yeah.
But I think probably actually weirdly, it's actually more the funding side. I think because they see that as something they're not used to, they're not experienced with. But I think when we do the workshops and we go through the different aspects of the development journey, they realise how much there is to consider. They're used to building and walking off. Yeah. You've got to get the right location. You've got to do your feasibility. You've got to do the numbers right. You've got to make sure you're appealing to the right market, and the product is right for the people you're looking to exit with. So I think they walk away a little bit brain fogged because there is a lot to go through and understand. But I think initially they come with funding, got no idea about funding.
Yeah.
But that's certainly what we found.
I think people still obviously traditionally would think it's a bank who gives you the money,
Yeah.
and it's hard for a self-employed person to get money from a bank. But there's such a wide range of options, isn't there, for people to get funded?
That is the plus side of after GFC, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, this whole alternative market has come about. There is so many options in terms of bridging, development funding, and that's why it's important to have a good expert and experienced guidance to help them navigate the journey, because there is a lot to consider, and obviously getting a deal presented to a lender so they're going to fund it is not easy. So that experience helps remove the hurdles to a certain extent and provides more funding certainty.
I think there's more products available now.
Yeah.
But for each product, there's a multitude of lenders as well,
Yeah.
isn't there? Each of us with our own
Yeah.
USPs, what we like, what we don't like. So having someone who can say that is our Roma deal, or that is a X deal or a Y deal, really helps.
Yeah, exactly. And again, I think the more experience you have, I mean, if I look at a deal, I can make a decision with probably about 30 seconds of where the weaknesses are.
Yeah.
And then it's all about dealing with those weaknesses, speaking to the client, and how we're going to mitigate the risk, so it satisfies the lender, because there are so many different moving parts. Some lenders want to do certain loan sizes, certain loan to GDVs, certain better experience than others. So it's horses for courses. Rate is never the most important thing. It's everything together, because when a lender takes on a new client, they have to trust them that they're going to get their money back. And likewise, from a client perspective, contractor point of view, they want to feel comfortable that they're going to have a partner that's going to fund them and send the money each month on the drawdown. So it's a very, very important match, and it's not as straightforward just saying, "Oh, put these two people together." There's a lot to consider, and also about mitigating risk as well. As a developer, if they get into 2-3 projects, it's about mitigating the risk from a developer's point of view as well, because you don't want all your eggs in one basket. I know lenders won't want me to say that, but I think it is about mitigating risk.
It is, and ultimately, it's all about that cash cycle.
Yeah.
Because the cash is king on site.
Yeah.
You need to be liquid. You need to pay people on a Friday.
Yeah.
Pay your contractors. Pay your for the goods.
Yeah.
Put deposits down. The moment that cash dries up, the site can ground to a halt.
Cash flow is the most important thing on site, without a shadow of a doubt. Cash flow drives everything.
Yeah.
And cash flow management, obviously, on behalf of the contractor, is very, very important as well. Hence why, the workshops we do, making sure they're getting into the detail of understanding what the contractor's proposals are going to be, what's the quality of the finish, and really getting into the detail of the costings, because, you can't do it off the back of a fag packet. You've got to do it detailed. You've got to make sure you're procuring really, really hard, so you can minimise the possibility of there being cost overruns, because if you get too many cost overruns, that causes people like you a problem.
Yeah, or dormant time.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
If you end up running over, it's a cost overrun, time overrun. Time and cost, they're your biggest enemy or your biggest friend.
Absolutely. Obviously, time is the most important. Cost is probably the one that everyone focuses on more because it's based around numbers. But if you spend a little bit more, but you deliver it on time, that will save you far more in interest than anything else. Time is very, very important. So obviously the detail of the program when you're doing a development, not just in terms of build, but in terms of execution, the pre-contract stage, making sure you cover everything in detail, obviously delivering the build on time, and being meticulous with your trades, being really hard with them and ensuring they deliver in the timescales that you've agreed.
And I suppose, but again, if you set a fair price and you pay them on time, as you roll through, you build that network of trades.
Absolutely. As is always the case, the first one is always the hardest. But when we're educating tradespeople and building contractors, they have normally always got those well respected trades, those good relationships. So that makes a big difference, and again helps mitigate the risk, makes the lender feel more comfortable. But the quality of delivery is also important. So fair price is very important, but obviously getting the best trade you can for your money to ensure you're delivering a fantastic product. Because if you deliver a fantastic product at the right price, you're going to sell it.
Yeah, definitely. Is there one particular trade that you see more of come to your work?
No, I mean, in the majority have been so far building contractors.
Right. Yeah.
But I would say carpenters probably would be the trades, and again, from my experience of doing a number of different JVs, the best site managers I saw were carpenters.
Is that because they see it at every stage? Or?
Yeah, I think they're also more organised, they're more tidy on site. But yeah, I think a combination of all those things. But at the end of the day, a large part of it, you've got to have the trade skills, but attitude plays an important part of that role as well. So if you've got the right attitude, then that you need to have the right attitude to go into it in the first place.
Good. So are you seeing any different challenges for these people entering into the market now, or opportunities perhaps than over the course of the last 18 months? Has anything changed in the landscape? Or
I think planning has obviously causing us all many challenges. Lack of confidence has a major impact on that, because obviously if there's confidence in the market, properties were selling, there'd be more people going into planning. But I think, and there's a number of different bureaucratic layers, isn't there, in all of it, which obviously we would all like to simplify somewhat. But I think that there's plenty of people out there that want to do it, but they need to have the confidence. They need to have the right opportunities put in front of them. I think land residual values, generally speaking, seem to have pulled back. So obviously that helps, because obviously the numbers have got to stack out.
yeah, you've seen quite a bit of conversion at the moment, or
Again, a mixed bag, really. Probably certainly stuff I've funded in the last 12 months. It's probably more ground up, but yeah, it just depends.
I suppose locality as well, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah, absolutely. And I mean, generally, we go in it from a rise up point of view. We have people down on the southwest. We have people from Manchester. We have people down. It's all over. It's the same from a funding point of view.
Yeah.
It's all about the relationship with the individual, and if you've got that right, and you've both got the right attitudes, then that's the important thing.
Great. So one of the things that obviously, watching from afar and now working closely with you, is very you work very hard on your own personal brand, don't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You're known for the shirts, and we've got one on today. I think they're racing cars.
Yeah.
We've met a couple of times, and you're always in something.
Yeah.
How important is brand to you, do you feel?
I think it's vitally important. I mean, I've from a funding point of view, I've been out on my own for 3 years, and I started 2 weeks after interest rates started to go up. So I knew it was going to be hard, but I didn't know it was going to be nearly impossible. So the first year was an absolute nightmare. And I've had background in mortgages going back 20 years ago, and so then it was different. You had TV advertising, you had newspaper advertising, you had direct mail, you had all different marketing channels. And now, ripe old age of 58, I walk into something that I know my onions, but marketing's different. So I've invested a lot in social media, and I've had to be different. So Bright Shirts is one of them. So yeah, I invest. Branding is very, very important. Obviously, the good thing about social media, if you follow somebody enough, you can tell if they're a good human being or not.
Yeah.
And obviously you can convey how much you know and how much you don't know. So that's really, really, really important to me. I've funded lots of deals. I've got lots of experience. But always doing the right thing is very, very important. In fact, it's probably the most important thing. And adding value. The more experience you've got, the more value you can add to your clients. And it's not just about getting a deal funded for me for a client, whether that's through Rise Up or whether it's through my DevBot brand. It's about adding value. I want them to go into a deal, and I want to make as much money as possible. So how can I help them do that? Okay, of course I can help them get funding. Yeah, but what else can I do? How can I help them use? By looking at the numbers, by looking at the location of the site, by helping with their contractors' proposals, and coming up with an idea that can help maximise their profit. Is there somebody in my network and I could introduce them to that can mean that they can do more projects? Can I introduce them to a JV? All those things are important. So that all sits within my personal brand, and that is, if you lose your integrity, you're gone.
I think what's really I agree with that. I think what's really interesting there as you're talking, and you can feel the passion about it, is it is genuinely wanting people to succeed. It's not about earning a fee. It's about creating a relationship that adds value to you as well.
Absolutely.
Gets you out of bed in the morning, doesn't it?
Absolutely. You know, I always look at things as what I call lifetime value. Yeah. So yeah, I'm going to earn a commission check on a deal. I'm thinking of how I'm going to help them build and grow their company over a number of years, whether it's that much or that much, as much input I can give to help them. And that means they're going to come back to, I'm going to be a trusted advisor. So they're going to come back time and time again. And that means they're going to grow. They're going to go from 1 unit to 2 units to 5 units to 10 units to 20 units. And that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about.
It's the value of the relationship far outweighs the value of the transaction.
Yeah.
Because I think you can be penny rich and pound poor if you try and extract as much value as you can out of the first thing.
Yeah.
It's that.
We would all love to do £5 million deals every day, but the reality is it starts at £100,000 deal and works its way up, and people have their different levels. The important thing is, to me, it's all about the relationship. The relationship with that client, me liking and trusting them, and them me liking trusting me, and if you haven't got that, it's not going to work anyway. And appreciate everyone has different personalities, but it's building that relationship. And of course, we all want bigger and better deals, but it's just doing the best you can.
Yeah, I suppose as well, by doing that, you build the one thing that is the golden goose. Net promoters, word of mouth.
Yeah.
You know, because it's real life. Instead of people looking at it and thinking, well, to work with Dave's a little bit cheaper than them, or he might have access to this funding line or whatever. It's, you know, I work with that person and I got the delivery. I recommend that you do too.
Yeah.
That is golden.
Yeah, I mean, it is golden, and you know, I've obviously it's taken a while, but 95% of stuff I deals I get are referral. Of course, social media helps with that. So, you know, and I've got business directly off of social media because people said, I've been stalking you for months. You know, we have a chat and we go from there. But the majority is via referral, which is obviously the best.
Yeah.
And obviously testimonies are important. Repeat business, you know, when somebody comes back to you, there's no better feeling. Oh, great, I did a good job. To be fair, I speak to a lot of my clients regularly anyway. So. And also the other thing is that the relationships with every single lender is important because everyone will have those little nuances that until you get into the detail, you know, you don't know if there's a little golden nugget under there you can release. You know, I've done, you know, deals with some lenders because I found out something by having informal chats with a lender. Oh no, we'd look at it. Oh, would you? Oh, so those relationships are very important as well. And peers, you know, I like peers come up to me and say, you know, I'm following you, you know, I always listen to your posts and there's always nuggets of information that like, and I that's great. I feel really good about that. Not getting anything out of that, but that's good because I'm helping other young people in my sector help get to the next stage. And, you know, I'm chuffed with that.
Good. So that's obviously work. And what do you do outside work when you have any spare time?
Family stuff. I'm trying to lose weight, so joined a health club. So yeah, getting into that, I've realised at my age I need to spend more focus on getting that balance between working silly hours and lifestyle. So that's why we've done that. Passionate about football. Chelsea fan. So.
Well, they're giving a young person a chance.
They are indeed, and the jury's out. What's he, the 11th manager in 10 years? So, but yeah, so obviously follow football passionately. But you know, got dog as well that walk on the beach in the mornings. So, but spend a lot of time working. But it's getting that balance, and I think now 3 years into the journey of being out on my own, I'm trying to get that balance better.
I saw recently that you're doing a Tai Chi.
Yes,
Tai Chi
so
program.
It's all part of the health kick.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, as you get older, you get out of bed in the morning, and sometimes it takes a little bit longer for the body to get going. So I was actually on a social media app. So I did Tai Chi. I can't believe the difference it makes. I mean, the aches have gone. And obviously I'm now overlaying that with going to the gym on a regular basis. But the Tai Chi is very, very good. I recommend it.
So I think really what I've got from our conversation is certainly over the last 3 years, I know you've had another 37 before that.
Yeah.
But it's all about consistency and showing up.
Yeah.
And it's about, even down to the Tai Chi, it's following it through.
Yeah.
And embracing. So, you see it on a social media app, you put yourself out there on your marketing. It's embracing the new world.
Yeah.
But bringing in all that experience that you've got.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. Consistency and resilience are probably the two key words that I keep saying to myself in my head. I know
They're the only two words you keep saying.
From a health point of view, I keep reminding myself I need to be as consistent with my health and my working out as I am in my work.
Yeah.
My posts are done same time every day. Again, it's just a consistency thing, right? Do the same thing, same thing every day, but obviously different posts. But consistency is very, very important, and maintain very high standards. Again, in this working environment and the market that we're all in, I think whatever side of the table you sit with, a borrower, a lender, a solicitor, standards are very, very important. And I think, if we're all honest, generally speaking, the service standards in the UK are not what they used to be. And so it's ensuring you have really, really high standards, and don't be afraid to tell people you're not happy.
Yeah.
If you've told me you're going to do that tomorrow, well, make sure you do it tomorrow. And likewise, it goes back both ways. So keeping very, very high standards are very, very important. And I think, again, sets you apart, whatever profession you're in. Consistency, high standards, well, you should be busy.
Well, yeah, ultimately, yeah. And that's why we enjoy working with you, is we know that there's a quality conversation being had with a customer. There's a real understanding why it lands with Roma, for instance, on a case.
Absolutely.
And then there's that two-way conversation where we can be open and honest with each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. We're all in here to help make the customer deliver.
Yeah.
When the customer delivers and has a good experience of you and of us, they'll go back round again.
Yeah. And I think, again, going back to the experience point, I think when I put a deal in front of a lender, my mentality is it's a completion. Yeah. Of course, there's stages that we've got to go through, but if I've done my job right and I've had enough conversations with the client and I've got enough detail, I should feel 100% confident that deal's going to fund. And that's the way I always approach a deal. I start at the end and work back.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that gives confidence. I think from a client point of view, they get confidence from that. From a lender point of view. And obviously I get confidence with the lenders that I deal with, because I know that they know that I know what I'm giving them is good. And therefore I get that little bit extra out of them. Yeah, in terms of effort and deliverability. And I think then that is appreciated on all sides.
Brilliant. Dave, I could carry on talking all day.
I could as well.
I'm looking at your shirt all day as well. Well, unfortunately, we are going to have to bring it to a close. So thank you very much for coming in to see us today.
No problem. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you very much. And thank you very much to everyone watching at home. Thank you.